Hey, what's up? It's Adam, and today I'm going to share my A-level journey, going from someone who was the biggest troublemaker in class, who got predicted U's, to someone who turned that round and got A star AA in my A-levels, with 2 of the highest grades in a couple of my subjects in my class. And I'm sharing this story because this year for A-levels, grades are awarded by predicted grades by teachers. But if that had happened to me, I certainly wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't have got into my top choice uni. So I'm making these videos for all the people out there who maybe feel their grades are a little bit unfair and the teachers are counting them out a little bit too early. So this is my story. Let's get into it. So I have always hated school. I was always in detention. I was bored in most classes. My teachers certainly didn't like me. My parents were constantly being called in. And as a result, my predicted grades were pretty terrible. My older brother is the complete opposite. He is the model student. He does what he's told when he's told with no questions asked. He's the kind of student who would remind the teacher that there's homework due at the end of the class. And I was the kind of student to throw a rubber at his head. So this attitude I carried forward into A-levels. It wasn't anything criminal. I just liked messing around in a class. When you're studying A-levels, the prospect of university comes up, and all of my friends wanted to go to these red brick universities, and there was no chance I was going to get into a red brick uni with the kind of grades I was predicted. So if I had any hope, any prospects of going to a good red brick uni, I was really going to have to study hard and up my game. So my predicted grades were pretty terrible. Biology, I was predicted a U in my first year in A-levels, which is pretty much don't show up to your exam, don't pretty much write anything. And the 4 was based on my effort. 1 is the highest, 4 being the lowest. So I got U4 for biology, and psychology and business were D's and C's. I had to speak to every single one of my teachers to convince them that the student who never pays attention, doesn't listen, they're gonna get an A. And the funniest one was psychology. My dad actually got called into school because I had a rap battle behind Tesco with another student, which I won, but the school wasn't happy that 100 plus kids were in school uniform behind Tesco at school time. She said to my dad that it was very likely I'd get a C and she would be over the moon if I got a B. I had to have similar discussions with biology and business studies, and all the teachers thought that this was a waste of time, that they were definitely going to see me on results day in line for clearing, because I certainly wasn't going to get anywhere close to A's. It's worth noting that at no point did I think I wasn't getting A's. You know, I didn't like school not because I didn't have the ability, it wasn't because I wasn't clever, it was because school doesn't appreciate people like me. I'm loud, I don't like being told what to do and when to do it. I like to work on my own in my own way, and usually that's very different to what the teachers want me to work like. The model student is someone who takes reams and reams of notes. They have every color highlighter and they make cue cards for absolutely everything. That kind of student will do amazing at coursework, and they will do okay to good on exams. But the real top performers, you know, in life and in school, they're innovators, they're disruptive, they're a little bit different and creative. You know, to be successful in life, you don't always have to be a model student, even though that is one of many different strategies and approaches. I just remember being in business studies and the teacher, she's trying to teach the class, and she turns around and she's shocked. All of the students are in their books, heads in the book, scribbling every single word, taking notes of what she's saying, except one student, which is me. Books closed, I'm looking around, half listening, and she says, "Adam, you need to take notes right away." And we proceed to argue because I say, no, that's not how I learn. I'll focus on learning and you focus on teaching. And even though I could have been maybe a little bit more tactful, I was ultimately right. I got one of, if not the best grade in business studies at A-level, but she would have had me down as a C or a D student just because I wasn't learning in the way she wanted me to, and I wasn't taking her notes. So after the hard part of convincing all my teachers that I wasn't going to fail and I was going to get good grades, I finally got them to predict me A's in all of my subjects. So I started my revision and I locked myself in this tiny cupboard of a classroom. It had no windows to the outside. The only window it had was this tiny panel that looked into the corridor. So every hour when every student was between classes, that was my only distraction. Besides that, it was silent, it was empty, just me, a couple of books and a desk. And in A-levels, once you finish your curriculum, you can actually skip your lessons a couple of months leading up to the exams, which I took full advantage of. Even my friend Ben, when the secret was out about this room, he asked if he could come in. I said, you can only come in if you say nothing to me. This room is ideal because there's no distractions and I'm putting in the work. So if you come in, you abide by the rules of this space. I didn't use cue cards, I didn't use colored highlighters, and I certainly didn't use my notes because my handwriting was so bad, it would have just been useless. All I had was for every one of my subjects, a CGP book. And I memorized every single word on every single page and every single lame joke that was on the pages. I would read them once to get a general overview, 2 to actually absorb the information, and a 3rd time to realize I knew everything that was in the book. This is a theme you're going to see in the channel. There is no talent here. This is all hard work. I meet every challenge that comes my way with determination and confidence that I'm going to put in the work to overcome it. And this is a lesson in life. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. There's going to be no parent, no friend, and certainly no teacher that's going to see your true potential. And don't let anyone put a cap on your ambitions. Just because they can't see the true potential doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. Just in everything you do, don't expect to always get support. Sometimes you will, which is awesome, but don't rely on that. Just rely on your own self-confidence that you can do it. This was a turning point in the story. I'd done the hard work, and after skipping all of the lessons leading up to my exam, I thought I would show up for the final week. And the teacher is asking questions to the class, trying to assess where everyone is and help a little out in the revision process. There was never a question they could ask that I wouldn't give a great response to. But for one of my exams business, I left a little bit unsure, and I was walking out with a couple of students. One of them was this model student. He was Mr. Business. He was going to be a successful lawyer one day, and our business case, what we presented as an answer, was very, very different, and he pretty much shrugged my response off as, yeah, I don't think you wrote the right thing. Jump forward to results day, and I must admit I'm quietly confident, and I get my results, and I'm opening the piece of paper. A star in psychology, A in business, and A in biology. And I only needed AAB to get into University of Sheffield to study biology. So even me, super confident I was going to do it, I let a little bit of self-doubt seep in because I actually got way better than even my top choice. You know, the guy who was telling me my answer was wrong in the business studies test, unfortunately, he was in the clearing line on results day because he didn't get the A he needed. And my older brother, the model student, he got good grades. ABB, I think AAB at best, which are good grades. But I outperformed him by quite a bit. The reason I'm sharing this story and making this video is I think teachers being able to predict grades is absolutely stupid, and it allows too much on their opinion and their biases. You know, it doesn't rely on objective truths. Was your answer good to this exam question? And it allows them to predict grades based on who's my favorite and who listens to me and takes notes. If you are a model student, then please continue to be that way. You're gonna likely be very successful in life and in school. But if you're the other way, teachers and school don't really appreciate someone like yourself, I'm here to say you can be very successful in school and in life. I was written off as that C/D student. They even had the audacity to predict me a U in my first year in A-levels. And I ultimately got A star AA at A-level. I have a biology degree and I've completed one of the highest paid commercial graduate schemes in the entire country. So if you're going through this experience and you feel like the grades are a little bit unfair, I have full sympathy for you. I was in the fortunate position where I could let my hard work determine my results. I'm not sure how much influence they have, but even if they have a slight influence, that could really impact your final result. It's not based on meritocracy, it's based on someone's opinion of you. And you're gonna have to play school politics to get a better grade, and I don't think that's fair. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash like. If you think this can be helpful to share with someone who might feel like they're getting treated unfairly, you know, I encourage them to challenge this, so please share this video with them. Comment below if you're going through this similar experience, and subscribe to the channel for more exam and study wisdom. Boom.